The death of a child is often called a parent's worst nightmare. In the case of Tom and Eileen Smith, their daughter Laura died after a legal abortion. Their story tells us about their journey to find out the truth about why Laura died. I'll also talk to Carol Everett, the one-time owner of abortion facilities, and a person who had an abortion herself. Together they paint a poignant picture of when abortion turns to tragedy. At the age of 22, Laura was engaged and planning her wedding. After spending the summer at the Jersey Shore with family and friends, Laura headed back to her home in Massachusetts. No one knew it would be the last time they'd see her. I spoke with Laura's parents, Tom and Eileen Smith, and asked them to share Laura's story. You got a phone call on September 13th. I understand it was Laura's friend Karen that called?
That's right. It's actually, she called my cell phone, and when she called, she was hysterical. And I'm like, you know, on the caller ID, I knew it was Laura's phone. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we thought it was Laura calling.
And she, you know, was just beginning to say things like Laura wasn't breathing, and she had taken her to a clinic. First, my initial reaction was, I don't know what you're doing this
wrong
for.
Number?
Wrong number. Why are you? This is not funny. You know, this is not. And I just kind of handed the phone to Eileen because I didn't know how to respond. I just said, here, listen to this. And then Eileen took the phone.
And the girl's still crying hysterically, and I heard 4 words: Laura, hospital, not breathing, and abortion.
Well, what was going through your minds when those words were coming over the phone line?
It was like a foreign language. I couldn't comprehend them. They didn't make sense.
What did you do after you hung up the phone? What was your
We just started throwing things in suitcases because we were in Jersey. Laura was in Hyannis, Massachusetts. So we were out of the house within a half hour. I'd say it was at that point 8:30 at night, and we drove through the night. We drove to the hospital because we wanted to see Laura. We couldn't believe it. We wanted to see her.
On September 13, 2007, a 911 call was made by a staff member at the Women's Health Center in Hyannis, Massachusetts.
Hotline, what's the location emergency?
Hi, at 68 Camp Street, upstairs at Women's Health Center.
At Women's Health Center?
Yeah, 68 Camp Street, Hyannis.
Okay, and what's going on there?
It seems like the girl aspirated. She's not breathing.
Okay.
All right.
What's your name?
Kim.
Kim, what's your phone number?
It's 508
Yep.
775.
I'll arrest you right there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
On September 13, 2007, Laura Smith drove with her friend Karen to the Women's Health Center where Laura had scheduled an abortion. Karen dropped Laura off and had agreed to come back and pick her up. When Karen returned, the center seemed empty. She had to bang on the doors until someone let her in. Karen stood in the waiting room alone.
The official handholder came out of the room where Laura had gone in for an abortion and said Laura aspirated, and Karen didn't understand the term. What do you mean she aspirated? And she said she's not breathing.
Tom and Eileen drove through 5 states praying to find their daughter alive, but by the time they made it to the hospital, it was too late.
After a while, they had to take her out and put her in the morgue because they don't leave a body out that long. So, the worst experience of my life, going down to the morgue and seeing them roll her out in a body bag, unzipping a body bag, and there was my beautiful, precious daughter laying on a table, you know, those tables with wheels, and I just stayed there for half an hour staring at her, telling her to wake up.
Tom, when you found out what the call was really about and it began to sink in, how did you react? What was your response to that?
I think, you know, I think I just really shut down. I mean, I couldn't even, you know, coming from, you know, I think not too long before when Laura was down at the shore with us and our children were down, I remember remarking to Eileen how blessed we felt and how, you know, we just felt blessed. And so it was when the incomprehensible happens and you're, you know, the emotion, I mean, and still to this day, there's just like, for the most part, it's just like a profound sorrow that hits me in waves at times where I'll hear a song or I'll hear or subject will come up or a picture, and then all of a sudden it hits me in a wave, and and I start weeping, and I can't even, it's still so fresh and so powerful.
Although time has passed since Laura's death, according to her friends and family, Laura's legacy will live on. Her MySpace page on the internet is regularly updated. Friends post messages on a daily basis, sharing their stories about their lives and telling Laura how much she is missed.
There are some questions that we don't have answers for. The medics were not able to revive her, the hospital was not able to, and they said that's unusual with a young person. They can usually work on them if they're called in time.
So there's speculation that she was left for some duration of period.
Yes, that's the speculation. I don't know if the truth will come out.
Coming up, I'll talk with a former owner of abortion centers who has witnessed firsthand the devastating physical impact abortion can have on a woman's body.